You guys hear that? It is the sound of an impending battle. What's up, guys? My name is Kingston, and welcome back to another Napoleonic Total War 3 battle. This is the fight for Borodino, and it'll be historical, as far as I can tell. I mean, look at this field. Just this part. You hear the birds singing, you hear little drums, you hear some rattle, and then you behold a Russian army. No, I was kidding. So, yeah, this is a 4v4 sitting by Nix. 4v4 has some Naurod, Russian Naurod, which you can see in the back here from Bagration. That is kind of, not Naurod, I apologize, just Kazakis that have guerrilla deployment to scout. But we have Bagration, Konstantin, what is it? Uvarov, and then in the back we have Duktorov. And they're going against some French armies, of which I will not be able to tell you the names of because they're blurred. But it should be a good battle. Borodino is always a very hard-fought battle, I find. Russia has some very good positions with their artillery. And I've done several of these, so I'm excited to see another one. And look at the weather. Like, it's looks like it's dusk. Almost either early morning. Now that's definitely like midday to late afternoon. This is like late afternoon here. The clouds are so realistic in this game. It is just blows my mind. But I believe one of these Russian players is a Cav Corps. That is Uvarov. He's bringing a lot of Cav. He has Ulani. He has Dragoons and some Guard Dragoons. No Cuirassiers. That would be Bagration and Konstantin that are bringing those. But he will be kind of threatening this French advance by the town. You see LOCs have been taken in the back and on the far side, center and far side of the map. France probably is going to take this. There's no troops even close to this LOC. So these legionnaires are going to push up. Light infantry, guerres, I believe is what they're called. More pushing up here. What we got? We got more light infantry. Since of both the gears, some hussars that were scouting out now going to fall back here. This is where the first point of contact probably will be. Now, Russia has just a bunch of cav here, no infantry. That Duktorov is going to be the one who's going to provide the line infantry support for this crossing. So Uvarov has to hold until those troops come up. They have some, of course, some reabouts. They can put their artillery on or have men shelter behind. In the center, you can see they have some of the artillery. The Guard is in the center. And it looks like, yeah, Bagration will be trying to hold this left side. Like I said, they do have an LOC in the far left side of the map with a light infantry and some grenadiers. So they are determined, it looks like, to make a decent push and cost the French some men. But you see that the French are pushing down this road. These Kazakis are going to get their butts out of there because they do not want to be charged by some chasseurs cheval. Several of them who appear to be running. Yeah, there is some French in the center, and actually, there's a lot of cav here and no infantry. The line infantry are on the right. I'm going to be very curious to see where the France is going to attack because when last time I played this, we had to make a decision if it was right or left. If you go left, there is an artillery position usually the Russians have. If you go right, there's a huge field here that French have to push over, and there is some strong artillery placements, as you can see right here, where the Russians are already sticking some of their 6-pounders. They have another 12-pounder up here. So they have very strong defenses here. It's going to be very difficult for the French either way. Now, I do see them massing up in the center here. Over on this side, artillery, I do believe, is up and firing. A beautiful position, might I add, for these 12-pounders. I think it's a combat gen 12-pounder as well. A lot of the Russian cav hovering over here, so this is going to be a tough one for France. Very tough. I don't think they bring a lot of cav unless they bring a cav corps. I don't know if these are corps, so let's see. They got some, looks like some dragoons right here, though. So they do have something. They have a lot of infantry that possibly can form square. The problem for the French, and the reason that this is such a hard-fought battle and so easy to lose for the French, is if they aren't super aggressive in just pushing, and if they push in the wrong place, say they pushed right here, they are going to hit a stone wall of line infantry. If they push right here, there's just a bunch of cav. Now, a lot of calves, so maybe a problem in the line infantry can react. This guard infantry, there's only 5 of them, or 6 of them, I think, total. One on the right and the rest on the left. But if they don't make a decisive push, they're just going to stand here and get shelled by a vastly superior Russian artillery piece. France going down this road is always usually a pretty good strat. You go this way and then cave on the flank while someone advances through this. In fact, if you push right here, it's a little better artillery-wise. You have a little more shelter from the artillery for the line infantry. I want to make sure not to miss anything here. So this line infantry did get to push up, and France is just sitting here. So everybody's being a little stagnant. I think, obviously, the LOC advantage is in favor of Russia. We just have a lot of artillery shelling. Now, there is no cav on this side. There's some cuirassiers guarding the artillery, but there's no cav on this side. So I'm kind of curious what these French cav are going to do. There, of course, is another infantry in the back by this LOC. I think most of them are in the LOC. There's a couple that couldn't. A lot of artillery shelling. If nothing happens soon, I'm just going to skip ahead. So I'll edit it out. But, oh, we have maybe some cav. Possibly getting shot here. Now that they don't lose anybody. These grenadiers whiffed every shot. Shame.
We have taken a building, sir.
Ah, they took another one. Where at? All the way over here. Alright. So they're trying to garrison this area on the spot, as you would say. Here we go. Breaking the glass. They will start shooting here. Oh, we do have cavalry. Oh no, these Kazakis are dead. Getting charged by some hussars. Yeah, they may. Oh yeah, no, they're not. They're heavily outnumbered. They do best hiding here, to be honest. To have been hiding here. These guys came from squares, so I would, back them so they're facing the cav. But here is a French army. So France is going to be trying to take this LOC, and you probably got maybe that's it. Maybe the rest of the French are... Where are they? This... I hear some drums over here. So this could be two armies attacking this way. One in the center and one flanking, and the center and right are going to do... Man, this is such a big map. It's so musky, too. They're just going to swing in a two-pronged attack on this side while they flank across the river on the left side. So we'll see. Russia is going to have to be very careful they don't get just surrounded and destroyed. Right now, it's the LOC fight that's raging. Those light infantry putting down some fire. Have they killed anybody? The first casualties besides the cav. Yep, first casualty of this fight. Cav honestly could go in, but that's the thing is, probably France, they don't know if these guys can form square or not. They may try charging in with some lights just to see, but they obviously don't want to, they don't want to lose their cavalry. Oh, here we go. This is going to be a brutal shot. They're just going to drop these Frenchmen. Look at them. How many men have fallen already? Oh my gosh, they're going to rout this. Oh, here we go. The cav charge. And they cannot form squares, so a bayonet charge along with the cav charge is going to break these. Now, they did obviously inflict some losses on the French here. Make sure nothing else is happening elsewhere. Oh, no, we have a cav fight happening way over here. Where, Russia is charging in against some cavalry. Some of their dragoons going against the dragoons and lights of France, and more dragoons going to charge up here. Oh, they're going to get flanked. France is not going to, Russia is not coordinating super, super hot at this point in time. They are going in piecemeal. We do have more cav charging in, getting fired and shot. Actually, Russia is breaking the cavalry here, and more is pouring up. So there's going to be a head-on charge. France is probably pretty battered in that last fight, and they're going to win. So Russia is looking pretty hot here. Line of infantry from France trying to form up here, but I think that Russia is going to take this cav engagement. Super crucial, actually, to the fight. Now that you have cav dominance, you can see all the artillery is just... Oh my gosh. Oh, we have cav, but they are going to... oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, you don't have to worry about... Actually, you do have to worry about this artillery. Because these guys are going to get shot. Yeah, there we go. Go for these guys. Can they form square? No, they cannot. They're going to try to run away. Can they get them? Ooh, that volley punished a lot of those French cav from getting them. They may actually break these 6-pounders. That is unfortunate. And now they have less guns than before. Now the fight is raging over here for this LOC. These Gren's probably going to do pretty well. I think France actually, yeah, they routed. Russia was able to rout them. 89 men left in that Gren unit. So France is just going to ignore that now and send their line of infantry to assault this position. We do have, look at this, reinforcements pushing up. I don't know if this is wise or not to ignore this French army, but they are going to. They're going to push everything to the center. More of the guard is going to push up here. I think they're going to focus on the left side of this field and leave the right side for now, using their artillery possibly, with just a lot of cav to force the French to not be able to do much. I mean, they have cav behind the lines. They can see what's happening. Which means, of course, that it's going to be a fight in this field instead of a fight on the right side of the map. Definitely different from the other times. Usually it's split up. This may be a focus on this left side only. If France is smart, even if they don't have cav, they will advance. These French troops are standing... Oh, this is like Westphalian troops. Yeah. We have some line infantry who have taken some shots, definitely, but are still standing. Oh, what a shot. See the troops down there? All the Russian troops down there, my goodness. All the way along the line. Sadly, the first artillery piece has been broken. And now it's some 12-pounders on this flank here. But France is advancing, and I think they should probably reform to face this. This looks like two factions, if I were to guess. This is two French factions here. Russia needs to reform either on the brow of the hill, or they need to pull this artillery back and hold, which isn't a bad idea, hold on the other side of the river. This river being a good place to push them back. Over on the right, France is being a little too passive here. I'm not sure what they're waiting for. This is a really good quality line of infantry that should be fighting and not standing staring at an open field of cav. I mean, this is just cav in front of them. You know, this is not anything worth facing. If you march across this river, yes, there is some artillery and some cavalry. But you're leaving your ally. You're going to be outnumbered later on down the road if you stand here and watch your ally just get destroyed by massive Russian. Now, I do see the guard shifting over. And the guard, of course, you can identify by the yellow flags. They are shifting over, and they are probably going to defend this right side. And are they still trying to push for the LOC? Are these Grens... They're holding strong, my goodness. Do they even have a shot? Oh, they have a shot right here. On those line infantry whose back is turned. At least you have the whole French line you can see. Just because these light infantry are routing, they're going to show the whole line. I'm surprised France or Russia isn't trying to readjust for the fact that they may be facing 2 armies here. I'm concerned about that. I want to have a little more of a reactionary force. They're probably not going to hit you right here. You could have 2 of these units pulled back in reserve to then be able to react. Have 1 closer to each flank. Have maybe 1 unit in the center here and another one kind of right here so that you can react this way or this way. And maybe pull these 2 to the left side. You know, just to support yourself. You don't need to have them all just standing here. We do maybe have some French advancing, though. All these skirms, look at them. I don't know why they're sitting their skirms so close to the French. They're gonna get charged by Cav. But for now, I guess, oh, yeah, see, artillery is just focusing these guys. They will eventually break just because they lose enough men. Why did they form square? Okay, so it looks like some Russians charged in against some Lancers of France. Got toasted, and they're gonna fall back. Over here we have these skirmishers who this is a waste. I mean, this is a total waste. These guys are gonna break very soon here. They're wavering already. Yeah, that you could have had them way back when they advanced to the attack, sitting way back here firing, and they wouldn't be getting hit. And their volley fire is terrible to behold. They can drop so many troops. So, but we do have some Grens getting charged here. Can they hold this time? Looks like some elites of France actually are facing off against them, snapping necks and. Oh yeah.
This
Russia
building has fallen to the enemy.
Oh, don't do him like that. Oh my gosh, he's oh, good grief, dude. Good grief, they're just slaughtering these Russians. Alright, we don't need to see more war crimes here. We're here to see a real fight. Still nothing, though. Let me fast forward a little bit. I think Russia's gonna be on the defensive pretty soon here. I think, yeah, France is advancing through the tree line. So you know they're coming. I don't like this line. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this line. They're at an angle which they shouldn't be. They should be in a straight line to face them. You have an angle like this, you get a couple units right here, and they're shooting on the flank. Or basically, you don't want edges. Don't expose the edge. This side and this side to the enemy. If they push up here, these guys are facing away from them. If they push up even right here, these guys' side is exposed. So you don't want that. Meantime, though, France is advancing, so this is concerning for Russia. They don't have any troops here yet. They seem contented to just give up this side. I think they have some line infantry over here. Yes, they do. Some cheap line infantry over here. I guess they'll try to support it with cavalry. But besides that, they have a guard protecting their flank with some artillery. A lot of artillery fire, just tons of it. Now France is going to try pressuring possibly with their dragoons now. This battle is taking a while to kind of kick into swing here. Everybody seems contented to just fire artillery at each other. And, you know, just keep it there at that. So I'm going to keep fast forwarding because nothing seems to be happening. The problem is no one wants to be aggressive. That's the whole problem with Total War. And I mean, I was the same for a long time. You feel like it's better to defend, you know, to react. But really attacking, you have so much more to be able to bring into set the pace of the battle just by attacking where you want. Oh my goodness. There's the heavies. Okay, so I'm assuming that's Murat. That changes a lot. Murat is over here probably to face against the masses of Russian cav, which, by the way, is shifting back over to this side. So Murat may have wasted a lot of time shifting over, which means there are 3 armies versus 3 armies. 1 on each side was... oh my goodness, I'm missing a cav fight. A lot of French. We have some cuirassiers, dragoons. Okay, so Russia, they're gonna face the weight of a huge cavalcade. Cavalade. What's it called? Cavalade? Yeah. Cavalade of French heavy horse. That is not cool in any way. I would not be happy about that. But they do have some cuirassiers of their own. They have the Novograd. They also have, I believe, some more heavies over here. I think they have the guard. No, those are Hussars. Where are their other heavies? Do they only have theirs? Another heavy. Another heavy. Hussars. Oh, we finally have action. Finally. And Russia is falling back. They should stay near the guns so the guns can do some damage. They don't want to lose their guns. But France is advancing down the line. Look at this glorious French line. Look at that. There's so many of them. And Russia's like, yeah, nah. Later artillery, you can fend for yourself. Oh no, the artillery is leaving too. You're gonna have to hold some infantry there if you want to protect that artillery. There we go. It's like they heard me. Russia is also about to face a French push here. Now remember, Murat is over here now with some of his cavalry. We have some dragoons, we have some cuirassiers. 2 of them, I believe. Maybe only 1. But France has gotten across and they are starting to push. It's starting to look a little concerning for the Russians. Oh, here it is. So the artillery is in danger, so Cav charged in against the line infantry. Actually, they broke, thankfully, the French Cav, but they are now closing in on a fight here along the whole line. More French Cav going in, trying to go for the guns. They did get them. And, oh, Russia needs to get themselves all the way across the river. I fall back right now and don't even stop, because France just attempted a pincer. France should have waited for these guys to get a little closer before they pushed. But they need to use this building, put some guys on the side. Oof. They need to pull some of these guys in reserve, like pull some of these guys and shift them over. They don't need the whole line. But France is in force. Look at this huge, all-coordinated attack on all fronts at once. Oh my gosh. Like, it just heated up really fast out of nowhere. Passing the guns that Russia, unfortunately, was not able to hold. Huge, huge French push here, guys. But France did stop. I don't know why they stopped. They should not have let the Russian team get some of a retreat in. See, they did get their retreat. They're going to fall back. I would... Ooh, okay, we have more Cav fighting over here. These cuirassiers going against some cuirassiers. France looking pretty good here, guys. I would be concerned now as Russia not looking good. We do have artillery that is falling back here as well. The Guard is going to be facing up against a massive French line. They're going to have to really use their Cav if they want to... What is this? What is this? What unit is that? Oh, we have cavalry charging for the guns. Some Kazakis that were sitting way back here most of the game. They hit, I'm assuming, a general. Yes, they did. They hit a general and artillery. Are they going to hit more, or are they going to... Oh, they can make it, they can make it, they can make it. Yes, they can. They're going to break a ton of the French artillery pieces. Not all of them, but they did break some of them. Over here, we do have Russia reforming. Oh my goodness, they are totally falling back. So they are falling back. They don't like how outnumbered they are. Russia, they're being totally surrounded here. Oh, there's a Cav fight happening over here. Cuirassiers of Russia finally beating back the French heavy Cav. Or now. Both sides are going to disengage here. What do we have in this house? Ooh, the Guard. Okay, so there's some Guard infantry here. But France is just continually marching. Russia continually falling back.
Sir, our general is under attack.
This artillery is probably not going to all make it out of there. But yeah, Kutuzov is in a single file line. He's getting kind of caught by some bullets here. Ooh, did I not do the sound? Ooh, I did not. Cringe on me. These guys are coming under some fire. You can see he lost 2 men already. Any Russian forces over here are now going to be needed. Oh, they can push on the flank too, but the circle is ever tightening. I mean, the circle of France. But I think Russia is going to hold here. Now, France, like I said, has an advantage because they are attacking. They have a huge advantage. And there's a corner showing. They should probably form up a little bit more like this. This artillery, I'm surprised it has still... Oh, what? Oh, what? Dragoons charging in against France, so this is going to help to even the odds a little bit, possibly. They're not going to do too hot against the Dragoons of Russia. We do have even more cav charging, and Uberov doing what they can to slow down this French push here, picking off units one at a time. Look at the mass that's focusing right on this corner here. Russia is going to, if they're going to have a weak point, it's going to be right here. Cav from France now charging in, some Dragoons. But so far, actually, Russia seems to be doing decently well. They are shaken. They're going to get themselves out of there. They did break over here, but they also broke one of the line infantry of France. Regular volleys being exchanged. Oh, this is a good flank here, though. This is good. You can get these guys up way closer. Of course, you won't have it for long because the line infantry is reinforcing here. Let's get just an exchange of these volleys here. Just the flashes. Another Russian cav. Possibly going to go for artillery. Possibly. Over on this side, it looks like we may have Murat trying to engage the Russians. There's some non-squareable cheap line infantry on this side. Oh no, there's a squareable over here, a light infantry unit. Interesting. Uverov is over here with some of his cav, but look at this huge flank that France is getting. They don't even need to stretch their line out so far. Just put a couple units in a smaller column and just march forward. I'm a fan of, I mean, it looks cool, but a stretched out line like this that France has, you don't need it. You really don't. And you don't even need to be here. There's artillery right here. Unless you're going to push right down here, I mean, you're going to lose a lot to this artillery. This artillery is going to really, really change the tide of battle. Oh, we have cav charging a general? Yes, we do. A French general has been slain. There's artillery that's totally exposed. And look at these.
We have killed their general, sir.
Yep, they took out one, and now Kazaki's going to charge more artillery. Where is the French cav? Where is all the French cav to defend this? Because this artillery is mincemeat. And even look at this. France is actually losing. So, with 9.0, France has been declawed in a way. They are really good at melee in morale, but their shooting is not going to be as good as... not because of stats, because of musket bugs. They don't fire as often as, you know, the Russians. Although Russia is having some wavering, being shaken over here. But they have a huge flank that France is pushing. And they are going to start falling back, yep. If they just stood their ground just a little bit longer, they could hold here. France is going to start advancing here. Ooh, they're shooting at some cav. Oh no, cuirassiers, get those guys out of there. Get them out. Need them out, I tell ya. So one unit did break, but they're going to reform their lines, readjust, and have a ring that's focusing on the Russians. Oh, these Kazakis charging directly into a unit that was a little bit shooken. You see they've lost one. So now they're going to probably try to smack in these units that may be a little shook up as well. Because France is definitely winning this shooting. This shooting fight. And, oh, this is gonna be bad. So France is going to start really suffering because they don't have cav. The cav is all over here trying to deal with Konstantin and Uberov. Oh, and more cuirassiers charge. Oh, they form square. They form square. So they're gonna follow those cav back. Oh, and look at this coordinated infantry and bayonet charge. Oh my gosh. You've been using the light infantry, but they're charging it on multiple fronts. You don't want to see Russia charging you. That is so bad. They see a huge rout, mass rout by
Our men are
France.
running, sir.
This is how you have to play against France. Oh no, you have to. Oh my gosh, the cav play here. France brings way more infantry and a huge break in the center here. This fight needs to get way more aggressive if they want to win this. At the same time, I think they should be falling back over here, falling back all the units, not continually engaging here. Fall back. This cav is going to be the death of you. You can see they are going to reform here to join up this fight over here. Now, this still is a concerning portion of the field, but France is throwing away their chance at success. Look at all these units that are just standing here, not moving. These units have been marching this whole time. They would have a huge flank. They have cav support. They should be pushing up here. Just give them an order to go right here. These guys to go right here and just push forward.
The men are
Get up
fatigued,
in
sir,
their
and must
face.
rest a while.
You can put so much pressure that they have to shift reinforcements over instead of being able to push on your French ally. Because that cav charge with the line infantry did really, really well, obviously. France still has retained part of their army, though, you can see, and they are going to hold up by this LOC. Now, they're getting shot in the back. They probably are going to have to deal with this LOC if they want to hold by this down. Oh my gosh, they don't have any squarables either. Just stand and shoot. Don't charge them. Stand and shoot. Turn them around.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, the cav fight went off. And Murat looks like he's doing pretty well here. Yeah, doing really well here. France actually making a pretty good push. You can see they have broken some artillery pieces. This guard is going to push up here and try to break the French. Oh, the canister shot. Enemy general has been killed. France is going to start pushing. See, Russia, when you see enemy falling back like this, you need to keep pushing. So they can't stop now. Over here, Russia is going to have to make a decision if they want to try to push this army or reinforce over here. Because if they play the cards right, France can still take this fight. They just have to reform, rest, let the Russians choose if they're going to push or not. If they try falling back and try peeling troops over to help on this side, then push. But you don't need to push at this point. Stay defensive. Wait for your ally to make a play. Your ally heavily outnumbers the... for the French perspective, your ally heavily outnumbers the attacking forces here. And I think they're actually going to do a bayonet charge here. Successful. I suspect they are going to get canister right into these French infantry's face. Brave men as they are. Oh, cav charge, that's why. You can see, Russia's falling back, so see, France doesn't need to engage here. In fact, keep falling back, actually. I would keep falling back over on here. Waste this army's time. Waste Russia's time. Over here, yes, you have plenty of grounds to definitely be able to push and probably make a decisive push here. Let's see, these guys are gonna fire. Both planners take a lot longer to reload. How long is it gonna be? Because they're about to get charged. Oh no, they're not gonna get a shot. That is unfortunate. And France is gonna keep putting pressure, exerting the pressure here. There's some infantry that probably are gonna come back.
Our men are running, sir.
Russia's going to have to use their cavalry if they want to win this fight. Russia has to use their cav on this flank. Their line of infantry will definitely make up on this side against the French, who are definitely very weak at this point. France, why are they falling back? They shouldn't fall back. They should start skirting around this embankment. Cav charge. We have some Gusaris who are going to charge against the French. That cav charge, like I said, is really going to be helpful. Now, if anyone is going to hold for a very long time against a French army, it would be Constantine and his guard, who are going to make good on their elite skills in combat here. Oh, we have some cavalry. Oh, they're falling back. I thought it was French cav at first. So France is definitely falling back quite a bit here. You can't fall back too much as France. You may be a sacrificial lamb at this point. You need to hold some sort of position so that Russia thinks they can destroy you and then keep falling back. You may lose a couple units, but it may be worth it if France can crush, you know, this Russian force over here. It would be worth it. Alright guys, we are back. Sorry about that, it did crash. Happens from time to time. But we are, I think we were just at this part, yeah. Gasari charging in against the line infantry, trying to drive back this French attack, or counterattack, as Russia is now going to reform here. It's still depending on the card to hold. They have a very crucial role in this fight, which actually, they seem to be holding pretty well here. Part of the artillery force being dead at this point on both sides of the field. And Russia is pushing out, getting very aggressive against France. France is going to fall back all the way up to this hill. They are delaying. They are taking a lot of troops from Russia out of this fight that could be used elsewhere. But now Russia is going to push up. You can see France is starting to fall back. Not too keen to fight Russia right now. But they are actually looking like they're trying to go flank here. I would have these troops push up here, try to hit the flank of this guard. But look at this. We have a light infantry and then some basically militia. All behind. Very fresh, but all behind the French lines. And their backs are all turned. So they're probably going to get some volleys in here. I did hear some cav charging. Yes, we do have some cav charging here. Grenadier or Dragoons going to charge against France. They're trying to break this French army. You can see they hit them on two different sides. That Dragoon unit did break. But they are slowly but surely breaking away the French. The only real French army left is over here, which actually, it looks like it's maybe starting to lose. Or it will start to lose here pretty soon. Russia over here is going to keep pushing. France has fallen back. Maybe they're going to go all the way to the LOC. I would hope they would just stand and fight. I mean, once the battle's over, it's over. You know? And France is mass routed over here. They're dead. So now Russia will be able to help on this side. So in the end, I think it's going to be a Russian victory. There's still 18 minutes remaining. Oh my gosh. I forgot about the cuirassiers, which just toasted a lot of Russians. This one square holding against a tidal wave of heavy cav for France. So there's definitely a lot of cav still for France. They could change this battle. There, of course, is a heavy cav of Russia. I love the black chest plates they have. But they are going to be... They are going to have to face off against the French at some point. Look at that. And they probably know it. They know a lot of them are probably going to die. France is renewing their attack here. Russia seems to be falling back. Oh, but Russia is starting to lose here. Look at this flank. Now their center, of course, is getting shot in the back. All these infantry did come back. They even have their squareable in the center now. Gonna definitely affect the combat effectiveness of France, as Russia is now going to push over here and try to add their units to this fight. Oh, that's so beautiful. Here is a cav fight. Light v light. Chasseurs Cheval versus Hussars. And I think they're going to break them. Yes, they are. I'm still waiting for the impending doom, which is this. I mean, there's so much of it left. It is imposing, for sure. Russia is pushing over more troops as they are starting to lose some of their units. They are starting to... Oh, more cav charging in here. So France is having to readjust because of the flank and getting a shot in the rear. They actually had to turn troops around to face, which means they're getting shot in the back, one way or the other. Try to deal with this militia. Honestly, they should send the heavies over here and try to rout these units. Instead, they are going to... Well, they're going to be wasted against, you know, these units that can form squares. More over here. So France is going to come back. Do we have the charge? Yes, we do. So committing in here, going against some Ulani and a general. No, is this a dragoon? That's Uberov himself. And so that is going to cause France to get sandwiched here. Are these guys charging? Here we go, the epic clash, guys. And then the flank. And then a general. They're probably going to break them that way. But France is really peeling back. France keeps coming back. Look at this. They just keep coming back. France, if they can just hold on now on this side and let the French push up on this side, they can sandwich the Russians. So it's not over yet, and these cuirassiers seem to be doing okay. In fact, it appears that they broke all the Russian cav minus the general, who
our men are running.
Uberov himself seems to be charging in against these cuirassiers, but he's gonna die. In fact, this is him right here, I believe. No, that wasn't him. That's... Yeah, no, he's over here. He's this dude. This dude. Got away somehow. More cav charging in against the French line here. God, it is too close to tell still who's going to win this fight. Because you have some pretty organized advances from France once more pushing up here. There's actually a lot of line infantry still here, and very healthy looking line infantry. Looks like a lot of fusiliers of the line, basically. Just fusiliers. More cav charging in here. More of these Gusaris. They're trying their best to dampen line. Oh, France is starting to have a mass rout here. This could be it for France. As Russia is starting to peel away at the corner of their line. On this other side, they seem to be, having some breaking just because they're getting shot from two sides at once. It'd be worthwhile to peel this guard infantry up here and shoot on the back of this larger French unit. But it does appear that France is getting surrounded right in this area. And remember that the cuirassiers are still in this fight. That's me a close one for sure. But this definitely shows the mettle of the guard. How they've held so long. There's only a couple units they had here. They held so long. You see France actually broke as they did a bayonet charge directly into the face of the line infantry. They got volleyed right before they made it, which causes a huge debuff for the shock of morale. And I think France is actually almost gone here. Now, they have to keep pursuing this army or else it'll come back. Just like this French army, which is now pushing up, has come back. So you have to for once, pursue the army France is going to push up, try to renew the assault. They've actually got... This is the furthest I think they've gotten here. And you can't forget the cuirassiers in the forest. So... Cav going to start flanking around. We have Kutuzov and some dragoons. Falling back here as France is marching over a field of dead. Oh, this one brave unit. Oh, that is gorgeous.
Our men are running, sir.
Look at that. I think Russia still has this. I think they will hold. They've done well enough here, unless this Cav comes back with a vengeance, which right now it's kind of sitting back. Imagine being a Cav unit, and you just sit here and you watch the fight from the forest. You're like, well, you know, what are we supposed to do here? What are we supposed to do? If we charge out, they're gonna form a square and volley us into oblivion. Let's hit the minor fast forward button here. Yeah, I think France may try to just form up for one solid last line, try to get their artillery in the way.
Rest a while.
They're gonna try to surround this French. Man, these French troops keep coming back. This fight is at 9 minutes left, so it's gonna probably come down to an LSC and actually probably not a total field defeat. But the LSCs, for the most part, are held by the Russians. So, yeah, that'll be.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Minus this, which actually France did really well to take it. Putting line infantry in there, not a bad idea. France may actually have a huge mass rout here. Just due to the Cav that keeps harassing their flank. Oh yes, is this going to be down to Imperials versus some line infantry? This Imperial elite infantry, guard infantry of Russia has taken some heavy losses, but they have done so well. They've held so well. It probably I want to try this loadout now. It's like a lot of fun. Can't be afraid of letting your troops take losses, it would appear, as the French guard, or as the Russian guard. See, oh, okay, I was about to say, it's like they have a lot of reserves here. They can push them up on the side, but Russia is here with with some line infantry here in the back lines. Going to cause the French to have to fight back to back, which they've done a lot this time around. They've been fighting with their backs to the enemy quite a bit. This LOC is being charged. I'm surprised they're going in here because they're going to get shot by the French. But they seem to be taking this, actually. And they're going to take it, which is going to affect the morale of France as they're going to start mass routing here. Their last attempt to take an LOC, maybe have some sort of LOC leverage, definitely not going to work. They're going to charge into the LOC as well, and that's going to cause a break, and these guys are going to break pretty fast. Yeah, they're going to break. Which just leaves this one line and 5 minutes to go. And I suspect he's just going to be standing here, shooting back and forth. Look at that. There's just dead men all throughout. Oh, man. It's like a perfect... If you can make a painting out of a video. See some men push up. Oh, she had like a... Oh, they're getting close. Getting close to the French. French are going to advance to them. Oh, the cuirassiers came out of nowhere, charging into the back lines. Oh my goodness. Not forgotten. They charged in and... Did they break? They did. The Ghazaris charged them and managed to stop them, but it did affect a lot of the Russians' performance in a fight. But this is the last stand. Man. You just see constant flame and shot. You hear men dying. You can probably see some men dying. There's actually a gap, it looks like, in the Russian line there. Oh, I even saw like a bullet fly past. Looks like there's some morale issues for the French here. Good grief, though. This fight is probably going to take the entire time. There's 3 minutes remaining here. Oh, actually, France has a good flank here. The guard is going to show up maybe too late. I don't know. They just got to hold out, guys. They just have 3 minutes. Russia just has to hold for 3 minutes. And France actually looks like they're pretty imposingly pushing. France now will, before the sun goes down, try to push back the French. And the Muscovite doesn't seem to be affecting the French that much, actually. I mean, there's a little pausing here when they should be firing, but... not too bad. Goodness. Oh, that cav being super helpful once more. And that may cause the mass rout that France is gonna finally break. Russia's actually closing in here. Oh, getting so close. Oh, there's a general staff way back there. Oh, wow. Grenadiers flank, so I think, yeah, France caving on both sides. They have a little detachment contingent in the center that is still holding bravely, but not for probably much longer. They have units collapsing on both sides. We have some cav charging in the back lines here.
Our men are running.
As there is a minute left in this fight. And that should be the mass rout. That will... oh no, there's a unit way back here. Okay, I'm gonna skip to the end, guys, so we can see the stats here of this glorious fight. Hard fought. I mean, there's gonna be losses all over the board here. Not as much over here, though, actually. Some more of a cav fight. Most of the fighting obviously happened right here and right over here, so skip to the end and show you guys the results. Alright, guys, like I said, I was sent by Nix, and this was the Patriotic War. cores, so very, very fun. I love playing core battles. If you don't play NTW3 and you want to get into it, definitely check out the cores sometime. Some people like them, some people don't, but that'll be about it for me today. Let's see the losses and kills here. So 16, 12, 1,700, and then 4, 7, 1,900. Definitely a decisive victory. Well, maybe Pyrrhic victory for the Russians. Those Dragoons did pretty well for the French, and those lights, all these light infantry did really well, getting a lot of good kills. So, all right, guys, that's about it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all in another video.